Hey, this is Laurie from Pride Cheneyville Library. I'm the teen librarian up here. This is what we're going to be working on today. It's called Welcome Spring. And it's something that you could either put on your wall, you could prop it up on your desk. Here's what you're going to get. You're going to get a sheet with different shapes of leaves on it, and you're going to pick one and cut it out. It doesn't matter if you mess up the other ones because you're really only going to use one. Okay, you're going to get 2 pieces of cardstock beside the yellow one. One is going to have Welcome Spring on it, and the other one's going to be blank. And you're going to get a container, little container with tacky glue, good stuff. And you're going to get a set of kind of springtime pictures. And you're going to use those in a minute. You're going to get a piece of cardboard to put on the back of your frame so that everything stays in there. Your frame may not be exactly the same as this one because I only had a couple of each. So, but they will all fit and they'll all look nice. Okay, you're going to get Q-tips and toothpicks, and we're good to go. So, the first thing you're going to do is pick out which picture you want. Once you do that, just do a rough cut, and then you're going to cut out your preferred picture. Okay, so there we go. Now, you're going to take your sheet with Welcome Spring on it, and you're going to kind of center your leaf a little bit, kind of make it look the way you want, and then you're going to trace it. I'm going to do it pretty light, that way you don't have to worry about how much you mess up. Because we have erasers on pencils for a good reason. Okay, we have leaf. Now, easiest way to do this, find something and poke a hole in there. I do this stuff so that I can get the scissor into all places without having to stress too much. Okay, so I've got quite a mess there. It's okay. Now try to be a little bit delicate with this because I want it kind of to all lay flat when I'm done. So my picture lays pretty flat. And that means that you'll be able to see the picture inside of it a lot better. it would be better if you were more careful, because every time I cut beyond the edge, that might be a piece that's going to stick up later on. And I don't want it to stick up later. The fun part about creating things for yourself. You're the only one who knows what was in your head. Sometimes your head gets on the paper, and sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Did that. Now, this is what I was going to tell you before. You take this, and if you go all around the edge and push it in, you get rid of all the pencil, and you press down all the edges. That's why I said what I meant was that you'll use it as a tool. Neat tool. Most pencils have one. See, it's coming up nice and clean now, and the edges are all pressed down. Yes, I'm going to go all the way around because we want it all off. It'll interfere with our background, our spring picture. And we don't want anything to detract from our spring picture. Almost there. Okay, that's it. Now, let's get rid of all the fuzzies. Again, go in because you don't want to flip your edges up again. Although we are going to glue them later, so that'll help. You're a messy kid. Okay, so now take your blank piece of paper. Okay, what you're going to do is take your sheets with your spring pictures on them, and you're going to cut them out. Cut out the strips, whatever pieces. I would cut them all out because by the time you get done pushing things around underneath there, you won't be too sure when you start exactly what you want. I have done the magic and already cut them out. Seemed to make sense to me. Because when I get on the camera, we don't want to take all our time up watching me cut stuff out. This, you can figure out how to cut out. There's some little bitty pieces here, but we're going to want them later. So, now, tell you the truth, the easiest way to do this is to, because this is going to keep moving around on you. So, you're going to just go across the bottom. I'm going to do it real gentle like this because, just the very, very edge, because you don't want to tear your cardstock. Because that's going to show when you're done. So just a corner. All right. Now, here's what else I did. You're going to take the top piece. It's going to be what shows. This is going to be what shows. And I did the same thing, but with the top corners. So that you can flip this up And you could keep checking to see what your picture looks like without it moving around. Remember when I said I play around with this stuff? Well, this is all the stuff you find out when you're trying to do it and make it work. I see a picture somewhere and it gives me an idea, and then I have to figure out how to do it. I'm going to try to get this one pretty close to what I did on the first one. Now, my favorite one is this. So, I'm going to put this in a spot that really shows. I'm going to get everything else out of the way. Okay. Let's say the little ones for on top, because we could have as many layers as we want. Okay, let's see if I can get this around the same place. Looks pretty good. I'm going to head it up a little. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now, the fun. This is where, like I said, we definitely want the pieces glued down a little bit. Now, I made the mistake of, which was a mistake for me, but maybe not for you, of laying it all out underneath and then trying to glue it piece by piece. And let me tell you, it wasn't so easy. Now, these don't have to be glued like super, super good, because everything's going on top of everything else. Okay, let me go back. Next one that I had is this one. I like this. Now, some of these up for me are going to be kind of like straight across, but they don't have to be. Is that going to look like I want it to? Pretty much. A little more glue. Basically, we just want it to stay put. And if anything sticks up, I'll show you how to get around that later. Okay, I think this was my next one. And I did that one straight too. But again, you don't have to. Kind of like that. Oh, this is so much easier than what I did before. You see, I got a little bit of white there. I'm not going to worry about that, because when I get done, I'm going to be slapping a lot of stuff on top of this. Okay. I think I'm going to, oops, I'm getting gluey. Okay. I'm going to take this one and slip it in here somewhere. Make it a little interesting. Yeah, pretty much like that. I want a little color in here. So, I am going to just leave it there. I'm not going too close to the edge with this one, because I am going to want to chop this off, which is a lot easier to do now than it would be after you glue the top on. So I'm going to do that. Done. Okay. So basically, this is what you're going to do with the whole thing. You're going to just place and put your stuff wherever you want it. I'm going to go here. Let me do this for my stem. I like that. Well, see, I was going to go underneath, but I don't think underneath is going to work because I think I glued it down. Okay. It's okay. Good. I got it. See, that's why I guess there's good ways to do things, and, you know, this one had a little bit of a drawback when I went to put the pieces underneath, but you know what? This is our picture. We could do it any way we want. Okay, now I want something nice and bright over here. Yeah, I like that. I like that, and I think I'm going to use this one because I like it, and put it under here, nice and bright. Let's see, I want it under here. So this time, I'm going to glue it down first. Okay, I don't want that there. Okay, good. So once you get it stuck, you can do a lot of playing around afterwards. And thank goodness this tacky glue dries pretty quick. Not perfect, but pretty quick. Now I want to put this back. Where did I have it? Kind of. Oops. So on top of that. Yeah. All right, let's go all the way up. Get some color all the way up here. Will that look good? Meh. That's good. So, you're going to have all the time in the world to do this. So, if I were you, I would kind of start out the way I did before and just play around with it, push the pieces around, see what combinations you like, and you may be working with a completely different leaf, so it's going to look different, which is fine. Okay, here we got a piece that's going to stick out again. Not anymore. All right. Now, we're getting there. I have a few things I want to add. We need color. So, I'm going to take this one and stick it over here like I did before. And I like that. I don't like that white spot. Don't. Yes. Yes. My friend, the glue. The fun part is trying not to move it. Oops. Oops. The stuff that's going to go in the middle, that's really going to be shown through, maybe when you get done, you could go back over it. And I'm going to show you when we go to do the edge that you'll use a toothpick to go through there. Go underneath and just shove some glue under there. Now, we have to let everybody know that this picture is for spring. Set. Spring. Spring has sprung right here. Let's see. Let me see if I can get it back under here. Yes. Did it. Okay. Like that. Yep. Like that. It's amazing, you know, you have so many different pieces, but it's still gonna work together. You're just gonna guess along and see what happens. I'm gonna use a little bit of glue before this gets too far away and go under this end because I don't want it to move. Okay, because I have a little birdie that I want to put over there. Okay, we need more spring. So let's do spring up here. Hello, spring. We are glad to see spring, aren't we? Especially after that stint we had with the horrible cold weather. I mean, we're in Louisiana, you know, and I never thought I would hear 17 degrees in Louisiana. I come from up north, and you could probably tell by my accent, but one of the reasons I am now in Louisiana is because I don't like the cold. Okay. We're going to add a little birdie. And I'm going to glue this first because there's no way I'm going to be able to get it where I want it. Oh, right by the tree. Let's go by the tree. And he could sing. He could sing his little heart out. And since it's springtime, obviously, we need butterflies. I'm gonna make a little butterfly garden here. It's gonna go right under here, and he's gonna be happy. A happy butterfly. I sound like that guy that paints pictures. It's just a happy butterfly. I got one more that I want to use because I really like this. And I think it's really pretty. So, let's see. I don't want to cut into spring. There. Okay. That, I believe, is that. Unless we want to use a little more color. Pretty bird. Let's do it. Okay. Let's do him up here in the trees. Yeah. There. A splotch of color. Okay, so we're close to being done. What you're going to do now, while it's still nailed down, I didn't even use this one and I liked it. but while it's still taped, we're going to lift it a bit at a time. Everything's moving on me. That's okay. Take your Q-tip, trusty Q-tip, and start up at the top. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but you will when I get toward the bottom. And you're going to glue, put the tacky glue all around the edge. And I say start at the top because that means that you could press it down as you go. Okay, I've got glue right there. Okay, see? Just a bit. I just started. Now, you lift it. You're just going to go under and bring it to the front because you don't want it to push the edges up. And if you try to do this any other way, it won't work so good. Like I said, almost all this stuff that I do, we get here by trial and error. And that way I get to make all the errors and you can benefit by the trial. Okay, squish, get it down. See, we want all these points to stay down. And part of what that does too is it keeps the rest of the stuff underneath exactly where you want it. So if something didn't get glued down that good, it's okay. All right, the whole thing. I'm going to speed up a little bit. Just stick enough so that you can see what I'm doing. I could fix it later, and I'll show you how right now. Anything that did not get stuck too good, you're going to use a toothpick, and you're just going to lift a little bit. Well, I think I've got it pretty good. You can lift a little. Now remember, this tacky glue pretty much dries clear, so okay, so that's what you're going to do. See his corner sticking up a little? We're going to stick it down. Okay, that is that. Now, you want to make the whole thing, sure the whole thing stays together. See, I made a mess over here. Be more careful. Okay, now, what we're doing now, since the middle is stuck, truthfully, for you, I would wait a bit in between. But I would now lift this top piece and get the tape off. Oops, see? I probably won't show though. That should, frame should take care of that. Okay. All right. See, now our middle is glued down, so we could take the time now to lift the top sheet up and just glue. And you don't have to glue too far in because your center's already glued. Okay, so that's what you're doing all the way around the edge, one edge at a time. Okay, now we can now lift it right off. You're going to do the whole thing. I'm not doing the whole thing. Get rid of the tape. Oh, tape's on there. Okay. Now, I cannot totally finish this because I don't have enough frames. But what you're going to do, actually, when you finish this section, when you finish this, I would take a heavy, something heavy and flat, which is a book. And you're then going to, after it's totally dry, you're going to take your frame, you're going to use your Q-tip, I'm going to use a dry one and you're going to put glue all in here, okay, all around there. You're going to lay your picture in it, and it will be glued down. Then, after that, you're going to take your cardboard, you're going to put some glue there, and put your cardboard on it, and you have the back, and it's nice and solid, and there you are. You have a Welcome Spring plaque for your wall or your desk, anywhere you want. Good luck with this one. I'll see you next time.